Can you say in the final 10 that people can
we
vote
go
for?
through them all and we pick the shorter list of 10 to choose from.
What's your favourite?
I'm not allowed to say that. They're all my favourites.
Oh, he says that about us as well, doesn't he?
He knew that was coming. He knew it was coming.
I do.
Too late to Matt.
7:47, Sophie Baxter charmed the nation with her lockdown kitchen discos, a 24-hour dance-a-thon which raised more than £1 million for children in need.
Plus, she has fabulous music as well. The Queen of the Glitter Ball is back with a new album. She's ready to groove her way into Glastonbury's Pyramid Stage later this month. Here's a reminder of some of her fabulous music.
And Sophie joins us now. Morning. See what we've done with the disco effect. Is it making you feel at home?
It really does, thank you. Very thoughtful.
Does anyone say discotheque anymore?
I do in my song Crying at the Discotheque.
Oh, you actually say the word discotheque?
Yeah, it's a good word, discotheque.
I like the word, but if you say it, people think, oh, really? No one says discotheque anymore. I'm going to make a point of saying it now. Discotheque.
When you go to the discotheque.
I was going to say it next time you're on your way there.
On the way to the discotheque.
A sentence you will never hear out of Charlie State's mouth.
It does reduce the chances.
It does. How you doing? That felt like a very chilled, at the end, because we obviously went through the catalogue, the back catalogue. The latest album, Hana, feels like much more chilled.
I think
much
it's
more
quite,
relaxed.
it's quite dreamy, actually, this record. There's sort of quite a lot of fantasy to it. It's a pop album, definitely. So there's lots of, I love like big melodies and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's kind of, I think Ed Harcourt, who I collaborated with, he described it as kaleidoscopic pop, and I think that's a good way of describing it.
So it kind of goes in and out, in and out. Well, it's been a while since you've brought out some new music.
It's been ages. 2017 was my last record.
6 years.
Yes, and I meant to release this sooner, but for obvious reasons it took a little bit longer. And I find myself doing other things in the meantime. But actually, when I was making this album, it was a really nice place to go, and I was really excited about making some new music. I really enjoyed it more than I have done for a really long time, because it felt really indulgent just to come up with some new ideas.
Tell us a bit about the whole kitchen discotheque thing. Can I keep saying it? Because you must know now when you meet people, you had a real kind of impact on people's lives, because everyone was searching for something to make them feel better, basically, and everyone found their own thing. But that's probably, I bet you've had a lot of people coming up to you saying, that was a bit special. You kind of helped me out of a difficult time or whatever.
Do you know what? It's been absolutely extraordinary, and I still, even now, find it really hard to articulate what the kitchen discotheque meant to my husband Richard and I, because I think in that time, having that community, even though it was people we couldn't see, I could sort of feel them. And every time we'd finish one of our live stream discos, I felt like people had been around the house. It's so hard to sort of get that feeling across, but it really was that I'd feel like, oh, there was all these thousands of people here, and it's actually not that messy. It was really strange what it did for my head and what a tonic it was. Oh my God, look how small Mickey was back then, blimey. I mean, what he makes of his childhood, I have no idea. I mean,
fun and full of dancing.
Yeah,
that's not a bad thing.
That's true, but yeah, and bringing it out on the road. I mean, we're doing a Christmas kitchen disco tour actually at the end of the year, November and December, around the UK, because we really wanted to finish these virtual discos, actually seeing the people that came over. So it's been really special.
So what's going to happen? Are you going to have a kind of mobile kitchen?
Well, we go into really beautiful venues and then we make it look like our home. It's quite absurd. We did it last year, and I literally make it look like that part of our kitchen, basically. Disco ball. I even bought a really large horse during lockdown, a pretend horse, a resin horse, and I start the gig sitting on this horse. I know why you're making that face at me, Naga. It's a really odd impulse buy during lockdown to buy a life-size horse.
What was the reaction when you brought that home and you said, yeah, I've been out, I've just bought something?
You know what? I think there were many acts of sort of lunacy that were going on during that time. I think because of, during lockdown, there was no work, there was nowhere else to go. So everything was either very domestic or it was like fantasy world. So the horse, I was like, I'm going to use this when I go on tour, which was absurd because there were no tours, no gigs. But the disco was a manifestation of that. And actually so is this album. Hana's like that too. It was like this escapist world. And I think it was a really useful place to go.
And will the giant horse get on the stage for when you go on tour?
Yes, that's exactly.
Okay.
Yes, it finally finds its
Yeah.
purpose in life.
Before then, I'm assuming Glastonbury.
Yes, I know, in a few weeks.
Have you, excuse me for not knowing this, how many have you done it before?
That's all right. So this will be, I think, my 4th Glastonbury. I first played it as a teenager with my first band, The Audience, and this is my first time on the Pyramid stage. And I just keep picturing the moment where I walk out and see the crowd. In my mind, it's a really nice day, and we're playing Sunday lunchtime. I just think it's going to be pretty glorious, actually.
That's a wonderful slot as well.
Thanks. Yeah,
isn't it?
we are also, me and the band are so excited. We can't wait.
So have you been told exactly how much time you will have?
Yes.
So already you've decided the playlist, which I'm not going to ask you because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who's there.
I think we'll bring our party set, really. And we've got 45 minutes, and that's enough time for a disco.
So you've done it quite a few times, Glastonbury. Tell us about the backstage thing. Is it like a melting pot of enormous acts from the music industry? And is it a chance to catch up in a funny kind of way?
You know what? There probably is all that happening somewhere. But actually, whenever I've gone there, Richard and I will just go out into the crowd, watch some gigs, bump into people, just kind of go with the flow. It's so huge. It's like a whole town that's there for that time. And there's so much to see. And the thing about Glastonbury that's special is that every musician that's there kind of brings their A game. Nobody wants to walk away from Glastonbury but they're not going well. So every set that you see is incredible. So I just like stumbling across things, really.
You've got to address a rumour.
Okay.
Which you may have heard, I'm sure you have. Eurovision. Are you a fan of Eurovision?
I adore Eurovision.
Okay, so you loved this year.
Oh, it was amazing. I was up in Liverpool for some of it, and it really suited Liverpool, I think. They were in the best mood. Like, everybody I met, it's great.
So there is a rumour
Yes.
that you're on the shortlist to become the UK's entry, okay, you're smiling, in 2024, for Eurovision 2024.
Well, I heard this rumour myself. There's been no direct conversation with me about it. I feel like this rumour also happened about a decade ago. I adore Eurovision, but I feel like at this point in what I'm up to, it'd be like walking into a casino and putting all my chips on red. I just don't feel like I'm up for the gamble, but I will be willing from the wings, whoever is doing their thing for the UK.
So it's not a flat no.
You know what I'd really like to? I'd like to write the song. Wouldn't that be fun? I'd like to have a go at writing a Eurovision song.
You're offering those services.
Sure, I will have a go at writing a Eurovision song. That'd be so fun.
When you say it'd be too much of a gamble, is that because, you might not do very well? I mean, that's the truth. You never know, do you? A song can be great and it can just not do well. And it's a weird judgment immediately, isn't it?
I think as well, I think Eurovision has got so much to offer. And I think if you're at a certain point in your career, it's like one of those things where you're suddenly put on this huge platform. And, I think Mae Muller was absolutely brilliant. I just think for me, where I'm at, I just feel like I'm quite happy with the things I'm up to and where it's all headed, and I just don't know if I want to, take a big risk with Eurovision.
That's a good place to be. And the Glastonbury thing, does everyone go? Because you've got a lot of kids, haven't you? It's a big family.
Yes, I've got 5 kids, and actually for Glastonbury, I'm going to take my eldest and one of his friends. And I'm like, you have to come, Sonny, and just go and get lost in it somewhere. Yeah, he's 19. I think he's going to love it.
I thought they were much younger.
My youngest is 4.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like between 4, 7, 11, 14 and 19.
Going on tour's like a break, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
and
getting up early and coming on breakfast and probably having had a decent night's sleep is actually a break.
Yes,
You've probably had the
you've
best-
unlocked the secret.
You've had the
How I
best
feel
night's sleep
about-
you've had for a while.
Exactly, yeah, and being
It's-
on stage and all of it.
Those late teens are ages when they can be embarrassed by their parents. Aren't
Oh
they?
yeah, it's an underrated pleasure of parenting, I think. Being able to embarrass
Embarrassing your children.
kids.
Does that happen quite a bit?
You know what? Maybe not as often as I hope. My eldest always says to me, "You think you're really embarrassing, but actually it's fine." They're so sort of blasé. I mean, quite often I'll go off to work and I'll be in like sequin catsuit, and I'm like, "All right, I'll see you in a bit," and they just kind of don't really bat an eyelid.
It's normal.
But I really like that. I think that's
Yes.
good for my head. My job's quite absurd, so having that is a good tonic too.
Wear a suit, tie, really stiff blouse, stiff shirt and everything. That will freak them out. That
Yeah, you're
will freak
right.
them out. Sophie, it's been lovely talking to you.
You
Thank
too,
you so
as
much. Good
ever.
luck at Glastonbury, the kitchen tour with the new album, Hana, as well. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining us.